Presented by Amex Superstores, a fantastic venue for motocross. The great hills up and down that we don't see too many of the other venues having such great area. We do, of course, Toowoomba was a great one for the hill climbs and the drops down, but this is real motocross right here. Beautiful scenery up the backgrounds, rolling hills everywhere. You can't get much better than this, Lee.
This is what it's all about, and let me tell you, it is get nervous time for these kids. KTM Group 65 Futures, Moto number 2. Moto 1 was wrapped up yesterday in a 2-day format here. The duration 10 minutes plus a lap, and that time will fly by. What it does, being not a super long race, to put so much pressure on the start, and with this mud, the water that's gone down, even more pressure to jump out of that gate in a good position. 15-second board is up. Let's watch for that 5-second board.
There was a nice roll in there at the start to the inside, but unfortunately didn't quite get it. A good start from the center of the track, as we would expect.
There's a Galis there with a very clear hole shot, making it nicely through the middle part of the track there, but someone has slotted in very closely in second place.
The riders hustle for position on this very opening turn. Stepping down into the bottom part of the track. There wasn't too many lines earlier on in today. That inside very wet as Ezagalis starts to work his way forwards. The riders back and forward, trying to make some passes. 41 machine, Cooper Nielsen there, just making a pass. The battle up front is red hot. And a pass possibly there on the inside. I think that was Kai Sproul, the 280 machine.
Wow, Kai Sproul definitely letting his presence be felt out here in the early stages. Possibly Ezagalis there, just trying to ease his way into the race here and not make too many mistakes. A couple of riders gone down there. That looks to be is that 852, that is.
Lachlan Gibbs. The 41 machine there also having a great start to his day. As we said, Nielsen made a pass early. It's Archie Black, the championship leader, who sits there in third place at the moment.
He doesn't want to be a part of this battle between Sproul and Ezagalis, that's for sure. He knows what needs to happen if he wants to wrap up this championship, and being such a young, tender age, this will be his first championship at this level. What an amazing feat that will be.
Oh, already it's heating up. The battle for the lead. Sproul looks over to see where Ezagalis is going. Two separate lines. They both switch to the very inside as they move towards their step up. We quite often see lead that the riders on the 65s are able to do some of these bigger jumps. Not so much that one. We were struggling yesterday to get over it on the big bike, so that one's definitely out of the question. But these kids not afraid to launch it where they can.
Little short there on the finish line tabletop for Ezagalis as he slots in exactly the same lines, mirroring each other. The WP hole shot to the number 23 of Mason Ezagalis.
They work their way to the start straight for the second time. Big look over the shoulder there for Sproul on the 280 machine. Into the left here, looking to pick up some of those lines. Ezagalis a little bit tighter.
It looks like that gap stretched out ever so slightly now. And you've got to wonder if it's just Ezagalis just allowing a little bit of room there so he's out of roost range. I mean, it's quite easy to sit there and just pounce for too long. And quite often what happens is you get absolutely covered in mud, you can't see, you lose your vision. So if you just pop back a little bit, try to find your spot on the track where you know you've got it dialed and make the pass.
Championship leader on screen, the 86 machine of Archie Black. Not too far back behind the 41 of Nielsen. As we said, he has made a couple of passes to get himself up there. But this is a good position at the moment for Black. Like you mentioned, a good healthy lead in this championship. Doesn't need to do anything silly here. The position he's in at the moment will keep him well and truly in control of this championship as Ollie Kale there on the 282 machine starts to close down that gap as well.
And let's not forget, Matafiglio is his closest in that championship hunt. And he's all the way down in 13th place at the moment.
the big long run up the fastest hill of this entire track. Through the Pirelli left-hander there, and you can just see how deep those ruts are as they exited that turn. Half of those wheels being swallowed up by the depth of those ruts as they go through the rollers towards the little tabletop on the right-hander, which, as we saw, was very easily off the side as Archie Black has a moment there, almost losing the front wheel.
Yeah, he'll be starting to think about that championship now. It's 5.5 minutes to go plus a lap, and you can't blame him. This is nail-biting time. He just needs to hold on. He needs to focus on what he's currently doing at the moment, not get too caught up in the moment. Now, I was just about to make mention before, Hammy, this track, some of the lines that we were seeing, the ruts, it's already starting to really take shape and looking a lot better than it did yesterday.
The track is looking pretty racy at the moment as we see the race starting to really develop. You mentioned there as a Galis, maybe just taking a couple of laps to look around and find some lines. Well, it looks like that might be the case right now, Lee, as he starts to get right to the back wheel of our race leader. 4.5 minutes still to go in this race, plus the extra lap. So another 3 or so laps for these young riders to sort their positions out before that checkered flag as they negotiate some lapped riders struggling to get through the mud.
Yeah, and have a look how deep it is at the bottom of that gully. It's such a good fun part of the track, that step up where they just came through. But coming down here as they go over this roller and it starts to veer right and down into this turn. I noticed yesterday when we got to do our lap of the track, the braking bumps coming into that corner is absolutely nasty. And then you have to try to get your momentum and rhythm going again as you climb up towards the highest point of the track.
I'm impressed with the momentum that Ezagalis has had over the last couple of turns, really tipping it in on those inside ruts. We wait to see the next couple of riders. Our race leader's already through this particular part. And it's quite a gap that they have got already over the rest of the field.
Yeah, they've really stretched it out at the moment, and you would like to hope that these two riders that have the kind of international experience that they have just got themselves over racing the World Junior Championships, you would kind of expect them to be up here at the head of the pack. Let's not forget, Archie Black has got bigger and better things on his hands. He does not want to be a part of this at all.
2 separate lines again for our race leaders. Through the easy lift right-hander and down towards the finish line. They'll complete another lap. 2 minutes 20 lap times. So we'll get through this next lap and then there'll be about 20 seconds left on the clock, maybe about 30 seconds.
There we see a rider going down in that muddy section. We'll have a look at the Honda replay here, just trying to potentially get out of the way here of some of the other riders. Are caught up, a little bit cross-rutted.
Yeah, that was Lily Lewis, unfortunately.
Yeah, and a part of the track there. And you can really see, if you look closely, how that wet part of the dirt there is so much trickier than the dry part. And those different textures makes it very, very difficult.
Archie Black still holding down third place now, according to our timing. So Nielsen has had a problem somewhere and is dropped back behind both of these riders. Kale's still there on the 282 machine, well within striking distance as they go through turn number 1.
Currently our fastest lap of the race with that little purple stopwatch next to his name, Mason Ezagalis. His best lap is a 220.8. And our race leader, Kai Sproul, also a 220.8. So just marginally faster, so close. But you have a look at our third and fourth place riders. Their fastest times are at 2:30. So 10 seconds difference. That is crazy.
Like you mentioned, it's the experience of these riders out the front that really pushes them along and develops those skills early.
So just 1.5 minutes to go, plus a lap. This rider on screen, the number 86, Archie Black, has put together a faultless championship campaign so far, and he is staring down the barrel of being able to hold that championship cup aloft. What a moment it'll be. You can have a look, see the big look over that right shoulder. Looks to be Dad there in that small box on the right hand side. Doesn't look too nervous, but I tell you what, inside I reckon that heart rate will have risen a little bit.
No doubt. He works his way through the Pirelli left-hander. I was very impressed with the way Archie Black went through those rollers just a minute ago. He's about to go through another set right now. The yellow flag's waving. But I was going to say just how he got through those first set of rollers, keeping that front wheel nice and light, just bouncing off the top of it. It was beautiful form to watch from such a young rider.
The battle continues at the head of the pack. Kai Sproul, our race leader still, he's just 1 second, 1.07 ahead of Mason Ezagalis. 25 seconds left on the clock. Once that clock ticks down to 0, the next time they come past the finish line, the last lap board will be out. But have a look at the press from Ezagalis. The pressure is coming now.
Well, this is for the overall podium for the round as well, Lee. Currently, as they sit, these two riders tied on 47 points. Of course, Ezagalis got the win yesterday. Sproul second, roles reversed right now. And if it was to finish this way, they will tie up on points, but the overall will be awarded to Kai Sproul. It's very important that they sort this little battle out. Ezagalis needs to make the pass if he wants to stand on the top step.
Well, both of them know they're not in the running for the overall here for the championship due to not being here for that round, but pride up for grabs. Who will win this final round? Stretching out that gap ever so slightly now. Sproul looking very comfortable. Next time he comes past the finish line area, he will receive the 1 lap to go board. So there is still enough time for Ezagalis to mount another challenge.
Long straight ruts there at the base of that hill as Sproul works his way through some of the lapped riders into a yellow flag just there. Hopefully he didn't get caught up.
Ezagalis is coming. We would have seen there was just a couple of bike lengths the difference. Can he do something in this last lap and a bit?
Oh, not quite as clean that time around for Archie Black. Oh, look at this, battle up front. Look over the shoulder by Sproul. He knows the challenge that is coming right now. Ezagalis to the outside is going to take a big swing around here, but maybe the momentum will help him close down that gap a little bit more. And they will receive the last lap board this time around. One final lap, one final charge. Oh, and a mistake by Sproul, but Ezagalis, same ruts.
Now, this is a part of the track here where it tends to funnel down into one section, but Ezagalis has gone for the far inside. That rut, is it going to work? It looked to me like that slingshot around the outside was the way to go for the moment, but there are plenty more opportunities in this final lap.
Again, the look over the shoulder. Ezagalis closes up every time up the top here. They'll get into some lap traffic. Will that be a contributing factor as they go through turn number 2? Sproul clears that lap rider. Ezagalis touches elbows on the way past.
Now, I might be wrong here, Danny, but I can't help but feel that Kai Sproul's focus is more behind rather than ahead. Is that going to play a factor here in how this plays out?
Well, he is keeping close tabs of it, but you're right, Lee. I'd like to see him keep that focus forwards, because right now he has done everything right. He made the pass early in this one. He has continued to lead this one as he jumps in behind a lapped rider here. Mind you, Ezagalis has dropped back just a little bit, so maybe he got caught up with one of the lapped riders just a moment ago.
Yeah, that gap is a little bit bigger than what it was last lap. Coming up to the highest point, and you can be guaranteed now that Ezagalis will let it all hang out through here. But with this gap that Sproul has at the moment, I think it's going to come down to whether he can keep it clean, keep those eyes looking forward where he's going.
Ezagalis is absolutely pushing at the moment. A little tuck of the front wheel by Sproul. Picks up an outside rut, almost sits up a little bit too high. That's allowed Ezagalis to get nice and close. Only a few turns left, and there's a big run here by Ezagalis to the inside. He could have the pass made if Sproul could close it down.
On the inside, can he nail this rut? He does, and he will move into the lead. But outside, swinging across to the inside. Great coverage, they're in the same line. He has done what it took, such a hard charge from the very last lap. making his way down into this sweeping right-hander towards the checkered flag, and a double victory here at the final round. That is how you do it. Mason Ezegales, he is stoked. But we need to keep our eyes peeled here. Our third place rider. What a moment for this young lad. Anytime you can wrap up a championship, it is going to put a smile on your face, but you need to keep it on the track, son. It is all getting to him at the moment, but now he can smile. Now he can take it all in as he makes his way down towards this tricky left-hander around the outside. Up the step up, beautiful landing, and one more turn to go. One more corner to be crowned national champion in the KTM Group MX65 Futures. Third place in Moto 2, but your champion for 2025. What a race, what a series for Archie Black.
And look at the excitement right there. You can hear the bike revving up. Absolutely pumped with that performance and the result that he'll get. He makes his way across towards the podium. We will get to have a chat with him momentarily. How good a race right there at the end. Ezegales with a massive charge will come away with that win.
We had it all, didn't we? What a battle for the lead and that pass on the final lap. Let's take a look at the results. Mason Ezegales with the win. Kai Sproul second. Archie Black, our new champion, in third. Ollie Kale, Joe Thurby.
They forward got there through to sixth place. Finn Burgess, Rowdy, Rab Jones, Hudson Francis, Ryder Matafigliano. Biglio, my apologies.
Sonny Jarvis, Stella Harding, great job. Cooper Nielsen, Chase Wilson, Jake Knight, and the list goes on. There he is. Let's have a look at the face. Let's see the emotion. Has it all sunk in yet, do you think?
Yeah, he knows. He knows what he had to do today.
He looks like he still doesn't know. He's like, have I won?
I think he's looking for a hat. Got sponsorship commitments to do here, Lee.
Yeah, we've got contracts to sign. Who knows where this has taken us? Great job. We can see Sutto's there on the side of the bike. Obviously a very big supporter of the young man, Archie Black. They will be over the moon. National championships are exceptionally hard to come by. And this is a big one. The KTM Group MX65 Futures. Everyone